Hi guys, this lesson is going to be on ratios, rates, and proportions. So first of all, a ratio is just a comparison of two numbers, and we have three different ways that we can show out ratios. So first of all, we can show a ratio by using the word to. So if we have like 3 tablespoons of sugar to every 5 tablespoons of butter, we just use the word to. We could use a semicolon here, so 3 with a semicolon to every 5, or we can use a fraction, so 3 for every 5. The next thing is a proportion. A proportion is when we have two ratios that are equal, or basically two fractions that are equal. So we'll keep with the fraction 3 over 5. So 3 over 5 is the same thing as 6 over 10. So these are considered proportions because 3 over 5 is the same thing as 6 over 10. If we take the 6 over 10, one way that we can tell that they're two equal ratios is the 6 over 10 actually reduces to the 3 over 5. So one way of telling if something is a proportion is if we take each fraction and we reduce them down to the lowest terms. If they're the same or they're equal, then it is a proportion. The second way of telling whether or not something is a proportion is to cross multiply. So if we do 5 times 6 and we're multiplying across our equal sign. So 5 times 6 we get 30. If we do 3 times 10, we get 30, and because these two numbers are equal to each other, we know we have a proportion. So in example 1, we have n over 15 equals 24 divided by 16. So to solve this proportion, we are going to cross multiply. N times 16 is 16n, and 15 times 200 times 24. So we'll have 16n equals 360. And now we'll divide by 16 and divide by 16. So we'll have n equals 360 divided by 16. Let's reduce that. 16 is divisible by 4. 36 is also divisible by 4. It's 90. It's 9, so 90. And then 90 divided by 4, we can reduce again to 45 over 2, which 45 over 2, if you want to turn it into a decimal, is 22.5. Let me get rid of this right here. So either way, you leave your answer. In example 2, we have if a 30-mile bike trip takes you 4 hours, so if we write the fraction out for that, a 30-mile bike trip takes you 4 hours. How far could you go in 6 hours? So the key thing here is you have miles on the top, so you want miles on the top on the right side. You have hours on the left side in the denominator, so you want the hours, so it's going to take 6 hours here in the denominator. And we're looking for how many miles we can go in 6 hours. Once you have the equation set up, now we can just cross multiply. So 30 times 6 is 180, and that's going to equal 4 times x. Now if we divide by 4 and divide by 4, this will be 90 over 2, so your x is going to equal 45. In example 3, again, we have two ratios that are equal to each other. So to solve the proportion, we're going to cross multiply again. In this problem, 9 times 4 is 36. When we go to cross multiply x plus 5 times 5, we have to show this out as the distributive property. We have to take this 5 right here, and we have to multiply it to the entire term of x plus 5. So we need the parentheses around the x plus 5 so that we know that we're multiplying the whole x plus 5 times the 5 and not just the x. So 5 times the sum of x plus 5. 5 times x will give me 5x, and 5 times 5 will give me 25. And that equals 36. Now I can subtract 25, and I can subtract 25. So 36 minus 25 is 11. That equals 5x. I can divide by 5 on both sides. So my x equals 11 over 5. Next, if you could go on to the Try It Now problems on the guided notes. Try each of these problems, and then we'll get back together and review them.